Arteta looks like he's pulled for choice ahead of the Liverpool game that Arsenal is going to be playing on Sunday, and everything is really gone ahead to be really revealed here onto the Rokani Media Football. We're going to discuss about how Mikel Arteta is going to deal with his very many players is having to really choose on, because looks like he's in a hard situation. Like I told you, I think was it like 2-3 days back when I told you that he's having what we call a super dilemma on the forward. Remember, he has Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Trossard, and they are all in the form of their lives, and it's a choice for him to make, and that's going to reveal to us how he's going to handle that ahead of the game of Liverpool. Welcome to Rokani Media Football, guys. How are you, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, lots of things have been talked about by Arteta ahead of this game of Liverpool. Xhaka. Do you know that Xhaka is going to hate to score very many goals? I think he has close to 9 Premier League goals, and even into the UEFA Europa League, he has a goal therefore. So it shows you that Xhaka is going to hate to really punch beyond the expectations that the fans of Arsenal had of him. And lastly, Ben White is another one. Mikel Arteta is going to hate to talk about the weapons that are going to be used to really destroy Liverpool, and obviously all those are weapons. Granted, Xhaka, if at all he can go ahead and really portray the form that has been really portraying the previous 7 games that Arsenal is going to hate to play and they're unbeaten, obviously he's a weapon that can really destroy Liverpool at Anfield. Ben White scoring in crucial games and obviously putting in assists, being solid at the right back, is also another weapon that Arsenal can use to really silence a team which goes by names of Liverpool. So let's get into this as it is right now. Now, Mikel Arteta was asked on how difficult it is to leave one of his forwards out this weekend, and he said, well, it depends on the moment and what we want to do and the quality we are seeking and their relationships that we want on certain days. Then obviously you have 5 changes, so you have the ability to change the game with those players, which is great for us. It is much better to have that problem because at the moment they are all looking really good. Who is he talking about? He's talking about Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, and Leandro Trossard. Those are the 3 forwards of Arsenal that are all in typical form. Let me give you their stats. Gabriel Martinelli, 14 goals. Are they 13? I think 13 goals in the Premier League with 3 assists. That is Gabriel Martinelli. Then when we go to Bukayo Saka, he has scored 12 goals with 10 assists. That is Bukayo Saka for you. When we go to Gabriel Jesus has gone ahead to score he has gone ahead to score 7 goals in the Premier League. He is having 5 assists. And then Trossard, before he came at Arsenal, he had scored let me see, for Brighton he had gone ahead to score, are they 6 goals? Let me check here. He had gone ahead to score 6 goals for Brighton, and right now he scored 1 for Arsenal, meaning that he has 7 Premier League goals. You know, now he has 7 assists, and that is Leandro Trossard for you, and is one of those people that have gone ahead to do lots of things for Arsenal this season. So as it looks, Arteta was hinting about those 4 players, but he's telling us that it's something easy for him to sort out because he knows that he can easily sit one of those that's going to be played off the bench and tell him, please, we're having 5 substitutions and you're really going to bring you on. And I think the 5 substitutions are really working well for every manager. Reason being, way back we had 5 only. We had only 5 substitutions that a manager could make to see to it that we had only 3 substitutions that the manager could make. But thanks to COVID, when it came in through, the number of substitutions increased from 3 to 5, and ever since then it has never changed. So, and they even added another rule that if at all a player gets a concussion on the field of play, then he's replaced and he's not counted onto all of the 5 substitutions that the manager is going to make. So it shows you that Mikel Arteta is really ready to really explain to them that If I'm to leave you out, you will know the reason as to why I'm going to hate to do so. And he has said that that's not a problem to him, by the way, because all of them are really looking good, meaning that whoever starts and whoever comes off the bench, the impact is going to be the same, because you can't front them all into the game of Liverpool, and it's always stupid to really keep your eggs in the same basket. That's really stupid. And you must be having that weapon, you know, that arsenal that you have to really unleash and really surprise your enemy. So I believe that Arteta is really great and doing a very great job as far as those players are really concerned. So he's backing himself on having five changes to be made as a team of Arsenal faces Liverpool at Anfield. And it really comes out to me in a very good way, because Arteta made beautiful signings in the January transfer window, and the signing of Trossard is the signing of the winter transfer window. Like Trossard or not, like Arsenal or not, it's the January transfer signing of the winter. Now, Arteta, on whether he will have a conversation with whoever he leaves out, he said, normally with players that are very much in contention, we tell them to understand why we did it or why we made the decision. So it's clarity, and when there is clarity, I think the emotional state of the player is much better to be ready for the club and the team that you are going to be facing on Sunday. So, you know, Arteta is really an elite manager, and you cannot expect him to mess himself up, because he's telling us that he talks to these players. So, of the three, on Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, and Trossard, that Mikel Arteta is going to drop, he's going to tell him that, please, you're not going to play tomorrow. And I think today, he has already told them, one of those, that you are not going to start because of ABCD, and they will be knowing it, no surprise, and they will be knowing that tomorrow I'm really going to do that. I'm really going to play off the bench. And I think that really acts out very well, and I know how much it's damaging to a player if at all you don't really inform me in advance. Even when you are changing the shirt numbers, you know, even when you are changing the shirt numbers, it's really important to come out and obviously tell the player that you're going to get your shirt number off and give it to the next player you're going to hate to sign, because that was a problem at Manchester United, and Anton Martial came out and said, Jose Mourinho came in through. Do you know what Jose Mourinho did? Mourinho came in through and really gave his number 9 shirt to Zlatan Ibrahimovic without talking to him, you know? And that really derailed the spirit of Anton Martial, and he knew that he never had a space to play into the team of Jose Mourinho, because doing that is just disrespect. Talk to him before you do it, and then it won't go well. It won't go bad in the heart of that player. But if at all you don't do that, the player will be so much hurt, and obviously it will affect the dressing room. And the moment you have one player who is really not okay in the dressing room, remember that player has other players that really believe in him, you might start to create cracks into your dressing room because of a simple decision that you would have gone ahead to really rectify earlier before. So I like Mikel Arteta on that, and I think that shows you how elite he has gone ahead to become as a manager on solving chaos into his dressing room. Then Granit Xhaka is one of those players who are going to hate to score 5 goals in the Premier League, and he has 5 assists in there for you. Then in the UEFA Europa League, he has scored 2 goals. Then so he's having 7 goals this season for Arsenal, and is really in incredible form. So Mikel Arteta was asked on what has changed for Granit Xhaka this season in front of goal, because he's firing in goals, by the way, and he's finding himself in good positions, you get, in front of goal. You know, sometimes he doesn't score, but obviously he goes ahead to bury that ball at the back of the net. Now he said mentality, feeling capable of doing it and understanding the way he needs to be positioned in the right moments, training and being in every single day, willing to improve and support the team in the area that, in our option, was very necessary to take another step forward in our way of playing and winning more games. So, you know, Arteta is a genius. You know, for me, I'm keeping an eye on the following managers in the Premier League. Arteta is one of them. Eric Ten Hag is one of them. Then De Zerbi is another one that I'm keeping a good eye on to him. Then Thomas Frank. You know, those managers have a lot and Eddie Howe of Newcastle. So, but I think Erik ten Hag and Mikel Arteta are at the helm of that list. When you look at what Mikel Arteta has turned Granit Xhaka into, he has turned him into a weapon that Arsenal has to go on and really score important goals. When you look at Granit Xhaka, he has been so determinant on what Arsenal has been doing in big games, and it shows you how Arteta is going to hate to change him into that player, because way back, most of the big games, Xhaka would get red cards. You know that very well. So he was so much into that category of a player who can easily get red cards. But this time around, he's a player who is talked about of really scoring goals. And Arteta has got ahead, as I told him that, please, I'm playing a single pivot with Thomas Partey. You and Odegaard should really play a little bit further, or a lot more, in the final third of the pitch. And he's progressing in very well. Amidst him not being a very technically gifted player, but you see to it that he has all what it takes to really release players if at all a line-breaking pass is required, you know, do the hold-up play, and obviously fight back for the team of Arsenal, such that they don't lose the beautiful game of football. So I think credit goes to Arteta, and I think Arteta was giving credit to himself, but he never really hitted it out directly. But everything that I was talked about, like being positioned in the right movements, training and being in every single day, you know, taking the necessary risks in the game, you know, all that has been inserted into Xhaka by Mikel Arteta. That's it. So after that, Arteta talked about his other weapon ahead of this game. It's Ben White and what he's really achieving this season. He said, I'm extremely happy with him. Again, he's been really consistent. He has adapted to the position really well, the way they flow and the way they play, especially with a few different players and the way they link up. It has been great. He will have other opportunities with England in the future for sure. So Arteta is one of those managers that really having a lot of belief into Ben White as one of those who is really coming in through to really do the needful and obviously bring us to the level bring Arsenal to the level of really winning. He has a couple of assists this season and he has 2 goals. That is Ben White for you. And if at all you were told at the start of the season that Ben White is going to get you goals and is going to be playing as one of the best right backs in the Premier League, you would really say no. But right now, it's a given that he's one of the best right backs into the league. And you've seen my combined 11. Ben White has been chosen ahead of Trent Alexander-Arnold. It shows you how much Arteta is going to have to improve him as a right back. We know that it's not his first time to play right back. At Leeds, he used to play right back at Brighton, but he succeeded so much playing as a centre back than a right back in his career. But Mikel Arteta getting Saliba back, and Saliba proved to him that he's a very good player. He just found himself switching Ben White to the right back, and does not only do that for Arsenal, but he acts as a wide reference to Arsenal because he's one of the most confident players on the ball and he's comfortable in any situation. He's secure with the ball. The same applies to Zinchenko. So Arsenal has a lot of reference points to refer to every time you're really playing that ball or getting that ball. Zinchenko wide left, then Odegaard, no, Ben White wide right, Odegaard in the center, plus the likes of Bukayo Saka and very many others that really act well in tight spaces. So that's another weapon that Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to talk about. And lastly, he was asked about on how surprised Liverpool is really crumbling this season. This is what he had to say. I have more admiration because it shows the difficulty of being at the top and transforming a football club. Their identity, their beliefs and their competitive capacity for the last 6 or 7 years. For that 6 or 7 years, it shows how difficult it is to maintain and sustain that level. We all have difficult moments, but especially with what they've done at the club, I think it's something remarkable. So, you know, Liverpool has been really bad and it's having 43 points. Right now, United is 13 points ahead of Liverpool and Newcastle. Those are the teams taking the spots of the Premier League table, 3rd and 4th, meaning that Liverpool need to put themselves in a position of really winning against Arsenal on Sunday to see to it that they at least close down, because when they win their game, the gap is going to be 10 points. But with those points in between those teams, it shows you how Liverpool has gone ahead to crumble, that they are nowhere near the top 4 positions, meaning that they have to pray to it that United loses close to 4 games and Newcastle does, which is hard because today United have beaten Everton by 2-0 without Casemiro, and as it stands, very many players of United are back. Casemiro is returning on the weekend, Eriksen is back, Anton Martial is back, and that is almost the core of the team of Manchester United. When you look at Newcastle, they look like they are not going to stop winning, yet Liverpool is dropping points. Ever since Liverpool beat United 7-0, they've never gone ahead to really win a game of football, They are beaten by Bournemouth, beaten by Real Madrid, beaten by Man City, and they've scored just 1 goal in all those games. So it shows you how Liverpool is really crumbling, and Arteta has gone ahead not to really look so much onto that by giving us the last 6-7 incredible years that Klopp has really had, and he has referred to it as something difficult to keep at the top level to compete. Obviously, I think it's the bad decision that Jurgen Klopp made. To me, I think would have gone ahead to sense early enough that I need a CDM. I believe if that Liverpool team had a decent CDM, even if they never brought in Cody Gakpo, they would have been at least a much more better team. But in my combined 11, I've put Thomas Partey ahead of Fabinho. But in the previous 2 seasons, when you're doing combined 11s of Liverpool versus Arsenal, Thomas Partey never came nowhere near close to a player called Fabinho. So Fabinho is crumbling, the entire Liverpool team is crumbling. That's why I believe that Arsenal are really going to go ahead and really get a win at Anfield. So guys, your thoughts onto Mikel Arteta Spoilt for choice as he reveals his weapons ahead of the game of Liverpool are welcome into the comment section below. I sign out for now. See you later. Jesus has resurrected from the dead, and let's praise the Lord. For my Muslim friends, Ramadan Kareem, and enjoy your fasting. Thank you guys. It's Easter Sunday. Let's see what comes out from the game of football between Liverpool and Arsenal at Anfield. Ciao, ciao. I'm returning in the next 3 hours to sum up the day, and I'm just waiting to see whether William Saliba has traveled with the Arsenal squad to Liverpool.